Jeff with another 5-minute murder. Gonna grab a card here real quick. All right, today we're gonna do Joseph James DeAngelo. He was born November 8th, 1945, and is currently incarcerated. He's an American serial killer, serial rapist, burglar, and former police officer who committed at least 13 murders, 50 rapes, and 120 burglaries across California between 1973 and 1986. On April 24th, 2018, authorities charged 72-year-old DeAngelo with 8 counts of first-degree murder based upon DNA evidence. On August 21st, 2020, DeAngelo was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. As of February 2021, DeAngelo is incarcerated in protective custody at the California State Prison at Corcoran. All right, there you go. So Joseph James DeAngelo was also known as the Golden State Killer, or the Bay Area Rapist. I think there's a couple other names for him. But this is the guy who was caught not that long ago, right? 2018. So this is a recent case. And he is a scary, scary guy. Like, he's a big dude. And, he had been doing this from 1978? Or 1973, right? To 86. He had been going around. So for, 13 years there, and probably much, much more than that, he had been going around breaking into people's houses, watching them while they slept, raping people. It's said that when he would go into the house, that he would show up and he would break in. He'd walk into your bedroom naked and be standing there scraping your door frame with a knife to wake you up. And then he would rape the person, and then ultimately at some point he decides to start killing people. He's convicted, or thought to have killed at least 13, gets convicted of 8, but there could have been many, many more. He was going around raping and, breaking into people's houses, and this guy was a cop, right? So it's not like he wasn't at one point like a productive member of society. But you wonder, he was in California, so you wonder like how much what he was doing during all that time. Like, how could you be a police officer and then eventually do all the kinds of despicable stuff that Joseph DeAngelo did? I don't know. I know at one time I was, had considered becoming a police officer, and, you take an oath to serve and protect. But there have been a lot of cops that have been into all kinds of things. Now, not that it's different, but it is certainly not the same. Serial murder and, being a corrupt cop that accepts bribes or lies or plants evidence, I think those two things are different. They're not on the same level. This guy was burglarizing people, raping people, obviously had some serious, serious issues. But then again, so Dennis Nielsen, another one who was also a former police officer, not for all that long, but he went to the academy, he did all the things. So, it's amazing how many of them, Kemper wanted to be a cop. He was there, but he was more there to learn from them and to see, he befriended a lot of them to really see where they were at on his case and to see how he could, kind of get away with it. So you wonder if DeAngelo is the same. I don't know the answer to that, but it's a crazy, crazy case. I just cannot imagine this guy coming into my house and standing there stark naked, waking me up, and he would get off on that. It was not just it was the fear, right? And feeling that fear. And now you do see that a lot of times with police officers who get kind of drunk with power, right? And they kind of get off on that whole thing, that having control over another person, forcing someone else to do what you're saying, right? And to have that control over somebody. So maybe D'Angelo was really, part of him being a police officer was that he had a lot of control over people, and they would have to do what he said. And he carries this over later on in life to then, burglarize and to harm people and eventually kill them. But yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. When I think about cops and the ones that go wrong, and by no means am I saying that all police are that way, because I don't think that. I have plenty of cops that are friends and that are awesome people that are out there to help other people and to protect society. But then there are other cops out there, and you always think of Training Day, right, with Denzel Washington, and all of these crazy things that can happen within the police force. So crazy, crazy stuff. If you want to know more, check out The Golden State Killer. There's been books and stuff written about him. All kinds of stuff out there. This weekend, I'm going to be up in Cleveland. I'll be up there for the Cleveland Gaming Classic. Actually, by the time you watch this, I'll probably still be here in Cincinnati, getting ready to head up there. But yeah, I'll be up there for the Gaming Classic. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I've got a book coming out. Hopefully, I will be done it by Christmas. That's the hope. We'll see. We'll see what happens between now and then. But it is called True Crime Myths and Legends. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things. We've taken 10 serial killers, 10 criminals, and 10 cults and religions, and are going to be talking about the myths and legends around them. And we'll give a little bit of brief synopsis of who they were and things like that. We're going to stay fairly mainstream with the first one, with volume 1, but I'm assuming that if I get too long-winded, like I don't know, the 5-minute murder that always turns into 10, that I will then maybe make several volumes. We'll see how it goes. I always have a lot to say about everything, so yeah, check it out. Make sure that you go on and check out all the stuff that we have going on. Check out the Profiler. Make sure that you're on the mailing list for that. But if you're up in Cleveland, come and see me at the Cleveland Gaming Classic. I'll be up there doing my thing. Come and say hi. All right, talk to y'all soon.